realized man. If shit was to hit the fan today, I mean, that could be an alien invasion coming in and probing people's butts. That could be a specific supreme leader from a Korean country which shall not be named coming in with his troops. That could be just anarchy in the streets because of shortages of food due to a particular pandemic or whatever. Would you be able to take care of yourself? Would people be able to rely on you? Would your family be able to go to you and know that you've got it all solved, that you're good? Or will you be the little bitch crying in the corner?
Please don't cry like that. Please don't.
One of my favorite quotes is this ancient Chinese proverb, and it goes like this. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war. Many men don't understand the value of studying history. They think that they can just look at their own lives and have a good understanding of what's going to happen. In reality, your life, even if you're 80 years old or 100 years old, is not long enough to have enough data points to be able to interpolate or predict what's going to happen next. So you need to turn to the pages of history and look back and see what happens. Then you'll see a rhythm, then you'll see patterns, you'll see rhymes, you'll see clues. And what we see is in history, we have times of prosperity where everything is good, lots of resources, people dancing in the streets, people being really obsessed with sex for whatever reason. And then we also have times of depression when the resources are scarce and people literally go crazy and become like animals, right? You need to be prepared for everything. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that by giving you 7 essential things you need to focus on to be doomsday proof. Number 7, strengthen your mind. The first thing you need to focus on is your mind, because without your mind, you're just going to go down the wormhole of depression. When shit hits the fan, when things get hard, people's mental health become more important than ever. And all you have to do is look at the past couple months and what's been happening lately, and you see that suicides have been on the rise because a lot of people have not had to face a lot of the hardships they've been facing. So you need to be good. There's a saying, sweat in training to avoid bleeding in battle, which means when things are okay and not too crazy, you need to prepare, you need to meditate, you need to do yoga, you need to do some deep self-work, confront your shadow and that type of stuff. Look at your traumas so that when things get hard, you don't kill yourself, right? You're still here with us and you can move on. So mental health is important, self-mastery is important, reading good books, psychology books, self-esteem books, that type of thing. A really good place to start is my book, Thriving, 100 pages of self-mastery goodness. It's free, download it. You should have it by now if you like these videos. So take care of your mental health. That is essential. Number 6, get your finances in order. And this doesn't have to be complicated. At the bare minimum, you should aim to have at least 6 months of savings as a safety fund, which means that if you spend on average maybe $5,000 per month, in terms of your petrol or your food and whatever expenses you have, you should have 5 times 6. That is $30,000 saved up. And what this does for you is it gives you some freedom to maneuver in case things go wrong, in case you lose your job, in case money is no longer coming in. You're going to have room to maneuver. You're going to have money to take care of all your issues. Or another thing to consider is not just having money in savings, but also having other investments. Every person should have multiple streams of income coming in. I don't care if you have a job, you should have a side hustle, and that side hustle doesn't have to be a business. It could be just trading, Forex, crypto, stocks, index funds, mutual funds, all that type of thing, right? You need to find some other ways to make money so that you are not in such a fragile position when that mainstream gets cut off that you're just doomed. So really look into these different types of things. A good place to start for personal finance is a book called I'll Teach You to Be Rich by Rumi Sathi here. Just some really basic stuff on investing, just so that you're good and you don't have to beg the government to give you money. Number 5, learn self-defense. And this is something I want to do as well. I'm looking into. Learn a tangible, practical martial arts. So boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, some sort of self-defense system. Probably keep away from, like things like Thai, wushu or some shit like that. Apparently that doesn't even work. So do the practical stuff that you see in MMA. Learn that stuff, join a gym, be able to defend yourself, right? You don't need to be Francis Ngannou. You don't need to be a Floyd Mayweather. If you just have a bit of training, you're going to be better than the average guy who's got no training, right? And if you're in a country that allows you to have firearms, freaking learn how to use a firearm. Once again, you don't want to use it, but if you're forced to use it, it's one of those things, it's probably good to know how to use it. So learn self-defense, be able to defend yourself, make sure that you are okay in that particular area of your life. Number 4, have basic provisions. That means extra water, canned food. I know it tastes like shit, you know, it doesn't taste nice, but it's good, it stays there for a long time. Canned food. The water is really important because, you know, if you don't have water after 3 days, you're just gonna drop dead. So make sure you do have water, bottled water and that type of thing. If you can get solar power, that's probably a good thing to get. So you don't always have to rely on your local electrical power plant. Maybe back up a generator if you can. Just simple stuff like this. You know, I actually have a story. The other day I was walking around the house and I almost cut my Achilles tendon. And I was just thinking, damn, this could have been really bad. If I cut my Achilles tendon and start bleeding all over the place, this would have been really bad, especially because I didn't have a first aid kit. So the first thing I did was run off to the shops and spend like $20 or something to get a first aid kit, which could be a lifesaver, right? So if you're bleeding profusely, you can actually bandage that thing up. If you don't have any bandages in your house, what are you gonna do? Use a towel? So it's important to just think a little bit, spend a day just getting some of these resources. You're probably not gonna need them, but it's going to be good, so good when you do have them. Number 3, strengthen your body. You know, men these days are getting really soft. You know, they spend most of their days like, on the computer, you know, the glasses. They don't go out there and build themselves up, you know. So you don't have to go to the gym. You know, you don't have to be pumping 3 plates on the bench press or 2 plates or whatever you do. It could be just a sport. It could be just running. It could be hiking. It could be whatever you want to do, as long as you're working your body and you're making sure that your body is a machine that's going to take care of you. Remember, you don't have another body. As far as I'm concerned, you know, they haven't developed technology to build another body for you. Well, not yet. So take care of this one. And there's no excuses. I recently watched a video of a 99-year-old man just getting it in the gym. You know, he was just pumping it. This was like in 2020 or 2019. Hopefully he's still alive, but he was going hard and still doing his thing. If this old guy can do it, you can do it. Okay, number 2, develop a practical, tangible manual skill. A lot of us, you know, me included, we're very good at these more intellectual type skills, like whether that's marketing, being an architect, being, you know, someone who uses the mind and the computer all day. But it's also good to have a backup skill that's highly valuable. I'm talking being able to, you know, develop a garden and produce fruit, maybe being a mechanic and being able to fix cars, you know, something that's more tangible that you can use with your hands when things go analog. You know, I'm not saying to be a pro at this, but just having some sort of skill set that you can fall back on and use as a service when, you know, things aren't working the way that things normally do. I think that's going to be valuable. I think that's a smart thing to do. Number 1, perhaps the most important skill every man should have is the ability to learn, learning how to learn, because the world is changing so rapidly. The world is changing at a rate that it's never changed that before. So a lot of things are being made redundant. A lot of the skill sets you have are going to be basically just replaced by robots and AI. So you need to be able to learn new things quickly. And this is called meta learning, and it's something you need to do. A lot of us, you know, we go to school and we think that that's all the learning we have to do. This is a mistake. Life is continuous learning. You should be reading books. You should be learning new skills, valuable skills. The more valuable, the better. The more difficult, the better, because you're going to be a specialist, and specialists are always in high demand. So make it your main prerogative to be able to learn new things that are useful and learn them quickly and do it over and over again. And you're always going to be okay on this earth. You're always going to be eating well. You're always going to be safe. I guarantee that. So those are the seven skill sets that you should be focusing on. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about what we should be learning as men to be able to become anti-fragile, to be able to be more robust in a way against, the crazy black swan events that can happen in life. Do this, and I promise you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.